Yeah, the epic meeting. The epic meeting about ABC. There's Ruth Patel here, and he will be giving everybody a bit of an intro or overview of what happened during that meeting, so that we can have some insights, and then we'll be continuing on with our blockchain conference. Sweet. Ruth, take it forward.
Right. Hi guys. Okay. So I recognize a few faces. For those of you who don't know me, Ruth Patel, I was one of the keynote speakers. Never met Serge before. So he says, do you mind mediating this? Because I said, you shouldn't be doing this. It should be an independent person mediating this, taking everybody's views and observations in. So let me just run through. So I kicked off and I said, look, the way I run mediations of these things, we need to do it and keep it factual, keep it less abusive, so that does not produce results. So no attack, keep it factual, keep it straight, keep it honest, and what everybody wants to know about is the result and the solution with the plan that you are willing to underwrite in resolving people's issues. And the people that matter are the people who've actually paid to be here, okay? So Serge then, we asked him what happened first. And the history was, he had some people working for him, a lot of sponsors had committed, and last minute some of the sponsors did not pay up, and some of the suppliers' fees went up. And by the way, some of these, he said, were even speakers who took money, including flights at quite high prices, that he had paid in advance, right? And he had some big guys over there that he paid a lot of money for. Second thing he said is, what are you going to do? I asked him specifically, we need assurances, what you're going to do by when, in terms of paying back the people that are exposed in it. Just come and join us, guys. In terms of how you're going to refund the people. So there's 2 to 3 main communities who got affected. One is the paying ticket holders who went and bought the tickets through the program, Universe, and that money he did not collect. So there's about 1,000 people that Universe took through ticket sales that will get their refund within the next 5 days. So those 1,000 people who paid and bought entrance to the place are currently being processed by his team, handling it through Universe, the payment engine that goes back and gives it. He does not collect that money until it's happened. So they have that money anyway, okay? The second people who got affected was the obvious large community in terms of the big payers, so the exhibitors and the sponsors, okay? And what he said is, the main guys, his total exposure is about 50,000, okay? So it's about 50,000 that was collected from the sponsors because some of the stuff was already paid, but that's his exposure in terms of what he needs to pay back to the exhibitors and the sponsors, okay? So after a little bit of debate, I questioned to say, look, just let's focus on what you're going to pay, how you're going to pay, what bits are you going to pay, and what bits can you not pay, and over what time scales, because that's all people care about at this stage. So what he's saying is all the exhibitors and sponsors, their costs will be paid. So he's creating a form that should be going out within the next 48 hours to all the exhibitors and the sponsors. And in that form, it will explain that what are the costs that they incurred and what are the non-recoverable costs. By non-recoverable costs, I mean where you've booked a flight or where you've booked a hotel or something that cannot be recovered, that you've had to cancel, he will pay that. But your whole entrance for your sponsorship and your money to him as an exhibitor with the stands, he will refund, and I'll come to the plan of what he's suggested on that as well. What he said is for the travel and accommodation for people who didn't come here, most of them, or 80%, were Portuguese, and about 20 people were non-Portuguese. and he says he will handle those on a one-on-one basis on what's recoverable, what's not recoverable, an attempt to refund all of those people as well, okay, on a case-by-case basis. What he did also say is, within the next 10 days, he wants to refund all the exhibitors and the sponsors for at least their booth value. So there were people with the 1 BTCs to half a BTCs to 2 BTCs, whatever they were. In the next 10 days, he wants to at least refund that. But he did assure that the flight and the accommodation piece for the non-recoverable piece, he wants to clear out that debt or obligation to those sponsors and exhibitors in the next 30 days. Okay, so at least we got him to agree that. Then there was the point where he was saying that he will do another event, and in terms of gesture back to the people, I know, and we advised that Herb was there as well. Herb was there, and quite a few other people were there. We said, don't rush into doing your next event.
Yeah. So did he say, I'm doing another event? That's a threat.
So what we did say, yeah, so what I said is, don't rush into that. First you need to do a rebuild, rebrand, honesty, trust, regaining of the community, etc. Pay people off as soon as possible. The 30 days, he says he will try and do it earlier, but in fact we advised him, keep it sensible. If you do it early, it's a bonus rather than not achieving it, and you'll get people bombard you after 30 days. So give a sensible thing, and if you do it in 2 weeks, you become, you know, not a hero, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So that was the advice we gave him, and he says, yep, fine. But the thing I feel, and I've never met the guy, and is, you know, and I've been in situations like this loads of times. For the last 30 years, serial entrepreneur, I've made and lost tens of millions of my own, so I know what it's like. If you beat someone and push them, you know what? They'll run away, they hide their phone numbers, they block you. You can go to police, you can go to wherever you want, but let me tell you, you ain't gonna get diddly squat. You piss them off even more, you end up spending legal fees, and you get even worse off than what you are. The fact that he's at least come and eyeballed everyone and said something else I'll cover in a minute, that he is still willing to push his credibility or save face, and he wanted to come, but he says, look, you go and do these things independently, and then tomorrow he wants to host an event which is paid for, which is already organized with a room. He says we can do it at the bigger level of those people who are here to at least do what we think we can do. And again, I said I can mediate that whole session. He said, yeah, absolutely not a problem. We can mediate it. So those who want to carry on, and I really urge every one of us to get into one area, where there's this group, that group, people who have come here for whatever reason, into one area, and let's say we're all in. These are the things we would like to see covered on the day. And then those who are supposed to be keynote speakers, or those who are sponsors who are going to do some sort of pitch in front of investors or whatever, let's find out who is out there in the community and create a mini agenda for tomorrow and mediate it properly and make a positive thing out of this, rather than, you know, moan and bitch and whine, and, you know, we are the only people who get stressed on that, right? Because that's what it is, okay? So he's paid for that, okay? So that's at his cost, even though he's going to refund all the people for what I've said before.
How was it paid?
Sorry?
Was it paid credit card, debit card, or was it paid in cryptocurrency?
I don't know. The hotels don't accept cryptocurrency.
No, how was the method of payment for the event paid to him? Was it through bank?
Oh, various. Somewhat. The universe people pay through a card. For the people who bought tickets. For the sponsors, some paid through crypto, some paid fiat.
Yeah, we paid with the bank.
Yeah, so there's a mix. But at the end of the day, it's irrelevant. I'll tell you why it's irrelevant. As long as those who paid get their money back in the form that they paid it, that's all that matters. The mechanism in the middle is noise. As long as I get my money back, that's all I care about. Okay? Which he did say he will do within 30 days. But 10 days for at least the booth bed. Okay, so that's good news, right? He's not run away, and he's not changed his phone numbers, and he's not hiding, which is good. And tomorrow he's organizing this for us. He'd done that earlier today as well with luncheons and everything, but we cancelled it because we said we are going to come here. Yeah. So for those of us who are going to be there, he says, come, we arrange that. And just before we arrived, there's only about 12 of us, I think. 12? Yeah, about 12 of us. He says, look, there's no point in doing the luncheons. I said, just cancel it. Why waste and throw bad money after good and all that, or good money after bad? We'll come here and join the rest of the group. Yeah. Anything else I've forgotten, guys?
The backing, the
Oh,
insurance.
so the backing.
Yeah.
So what I said, I made a proposal to him. I said, how do you assure people? That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I made a proposal to him, just thinking on my feet. I said, how do you assure people that they will get paid within 30 days? Yeah? Is there a way of doing something to say, here's some sort of a guarantee or a backing? And I threw an idea to say, you have X amount of shares or tokens in your company, which is, flash money. Is there a way you can put in some amount of tokens to say, should I not pay you guys by this date, 30 days, you will get some sort of assurance through here, through some form of discount, more tokens or something. So at least there's some guarantee there on behalf of you guys, those who are. How many sponsors are there, by the way? Just one, two,
Myself here.
and three. Oh yeah, Dax and you as well. Yes, four of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I said is, that'll be. I don't know. What do you guys think? Was that a fair ask?
Well, considering that you've done a great job, because I expected nothing back, right? So only
Yeah,
a bit of
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Thank you.
You've done a great job, so well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done to all you guys, right?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
you.
No, I mean, I've been in business for, as I said, tons of years, and mediated shit like this, lost and made of my own tons of millions. She's laughing because she knows some of it in Romania as well. So, there's always a way and an approach to get your money back. Even if you get half of it back, there's a way. But if you go around it the wrong way, you'll get zero with nothing in your hand, right?
Yeah.
It's best to do this. And I was kind of like coaching him on the background to say, this is not how you behave, this is not how you behave, and doing all that. And in his defense, his heart, I felt, was in the right place to make it happen and do it. Do you guys agree?
No, I agree. I will add, when I saw some of the group at one point, some of the comments, I figured, I know Serge for a little bit longer. I've invested in this company, and I felt he was biting on more than he could chew with this event.
Right.
And that's just a weakness of an entrepreneur. That's not something negative. As you mentioned,
Yes.
he faced up. He's trying to do anything he can, even in terms of warranty. If
Yeah.
he wanted to leave, he could leave.
He could leave.
So there's nothing that we could demand. The offer that he's made are genuine. It's a matter of seeing whether he performs on it. And what I see as well is, there's an American expression, even though I'm French, that says, you make lemonade out of lemon, right? We're left here. I believe we've initiated the group, did a great job. But instead of turning the group into a bitching session against him, and
So I've got a bag of rocks here. Let me know if we need. I'm going to have him in the centre and stone old-fashioned.
No, because it doesn't.
Let me tell both of you, if you had the choice to punch him in the face or get your money back, which one would you pick?
No, I don't put money back. No, but what was going to be, the good news is, if you don't mind if he took on too much and it's an honest mistake, like that's great. I will make those. Yeah, it's good to know that it looks like it was well intentioned, but he just made a mistake.
It was
And
absolutely
do
well
you
intentioned.
know what I mean? And Herb will agree. The guy is a boxer. You could see the frustration of a boxer behind his face, correct?
yeah.
And he bit his tongue. That to me is something, because you know how these guys are. When someone's like that, who the fuck is he to call me this? He can easily say that.
He's been punched around a bit too much.
So no, I did it with words, and he did. I think he stood
Can I
up.
just ask one question? This
Yeah.
is the second time this event was postponed though.
Do you know what?
And did he bring that up?
No, he didn't, because At this stage, all we cared about our event, how our people get their money
What I'm
back.
trying to get at is,
It was brought up, yes.
it wasn't, no, it was
No,
brought up.
we didn't discuss it in detail, did we?
No, but that, I come from an events background.
Yeah, yeah.
And you make the mistake once, you've already learned your lesson, but this is obviously second time around mistake in 6 months.
So you know what, we even suggested,
When he said we do another one in
No,
4 months, we said,
and we went into how to do events.
Mhm.
I think I even made a point of doing insurances,
Yeah.
having 30 days, your cash in the bank before you think of cancelling. So we gave lots of advice on that. But I had to bring it down to say, how do we get our money first, then talk about the next event.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Do you know what I mean?
No, because my only worry about this.
Because he was talking
is-
about events
there's
training,
no doubt that he's failed at this event and the prior.
and he's owned up, and he's owned up.
And he's owning up to
Okay.
it.
No, it's,
That's all. But what
That's
he said
something
is, he's not gonna
in
jump
30
into an
days.
event
But
immediately.
it's the old boy who cried wolf situation now, so any suggestion of a future event, even if it's gonna be the greatest event in the world, he shouted wolf twice.
That's correct.
Correct. So what I'm saying is, you were there.
Yes,
We said, don't do an event now.
No,
Don't do an event now. Earn yourself some credit, trust of the community, then think about it.
Get the support of people that know how to do it. like
Exactly.
yourself,
And get other people to collaborate with you rather than
The
doing it
group
on your
that's
own.
here
Yeah.
to decide what
Maybe
the event,
a
because
proper
it makes sense.
communication would have helped as well, because what
We
I
said that.
felt is just like the communication was all the same style of management, like the whole event, so.
Yes.
Everyone had a piece of information, just a chunk, and it was not even matching, so there was, could really improve
We
that.
suggested
Yeah,
that.
so if you have the chance to
No,
talk to him
no,
again,
tomorrow,
just.
tomorrow he's gonna be there.
Okay.
We gave him that feedback, but at this stage, it's not about training someone how to be another events thing. Let us make, I'm not gonna turn into events organizing coach now, okay? What we should do is take the time, I can do that as well, we do it for 30 years. Let's take the time to be productive, learn about what each other's doing, and sometimes, you know what? The best things could really come out of these types of meetings than the big hoo-ha meetings.
But question in terms of communication, so all what you said, so will he write an email to
Yes,
all of us?
let me tell you, I said I will write it and I want him to send it under his name.
Alright.
So if I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
It's gonna be a full press release.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
properly done. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I will write it, which he sends out under his.
Perfect, because
Is that okay? Is that a fair way of doing it, right?
I think so. No, that's Mark, anyway, thank you for it, that's a great job,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
All right, no, not an issue.
Thanks.
Not an issue.
Okay, guys, so this is round two. One of the things that we suggested before is that we just talk about the industry.
Okay.
Because a lot of people here are industry people. Some people have already said they're new to the industry. They're new to the ICO game.
How many new over here? So,
Who's-
so
who's new?
we want here.
By new to the game, I'm saying in the last.
Less than 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah,
Wow, half of you.
yeah. But so over
Wow.
here, what issues are you experiencing? What problems are you facing? What have you found that works? Like two areas which where do you start? Two areas that I know a lot of people are finding problems with is banking, and it's yeah. There's a couple of great answers out there. Banking, trusting marketing solutions, which is another big one, and thirdly, investment. How, when, where, why on this.